Toronto's traffic woes are going before the Infrastructure and Environment Committee today. The group is tasked with reviewing the city's plan to tackle congestion over the next 3 years. Our Faiza Amin is standing by at City Hall. All right, Faiza, what is the city hoping to accomplish with this plan?
Hi, Melissa. Well, this is a plan that was publicly released last week, but today city councillors and the committee had an opportunity to not only review this plan, but pose some questions, make some suggestions to city staff going forward. We know right now that the city of Toronto is dealing with a tremendous challenge when it comes to how people are getting around, especially when it comes to the downtown core. And a huge issue that's been flagged is construction that's happening, and they say brace yourselves, more is coming down the pipe, which means it could be even more difficult for road users here. But staff talking about a targeted plan to manage congestion at a time when the city is seeing unprecedented construction road closures. So they're talking about the use of artificial intelligence, for instance, to help optimize signal operations, specifically when it comes to the TTC and people who do depend on transit, getting able to move those vehicles faster through the intersections, and especially as there's even higher demands for special events in our city that will have traffic impacts. So they talked about the Taylor Swift concert, for instance, being able to help people get to where they need to go with little impact on traffic. They're also talking about the multiple projects underway in our city, including on Lakeshore, notably where construction work is underway for Ontario Place. So the city says a smart signal program will be expanded at key intersections, including this area where disruptions are possible. The plan also has more traffic agents to be deployed in high density areas. So this has been a challenge for the city. There were only 3 earlier this year. They're hoping to bring that number to 27 by the end of November, but they say this has been a highly effective program in helping people move and get around. We just spoke with the director of Intelligent Transportation System Center at the University of Toronto. Take a listen to what he had to say.
There are big initiatives that we're missing or like still in the works, such as expanding transit policy to embrace telecommuting, congestion pricing, which is not addressed in the plan. But the plan also addresses a number of good points, such as the use of AI to control traffic.
So this report will also be going to City Council next month. But Melissa, right there, one of the things that our expert pointed out is perhaps having more people working from home. That could help get more vehicles off the streets and help with the congestion issue there. That's certainly something that I know a lot of people are excited about.
It's funny you mentioned the Taylor Swift concert, considering the planning for traffic around that, which, by the way, is more than a year away. Okay, a lot of voices in the room. Give me an idea of some of the conversations being had.
So there were 6 speakers who signed up to speak today, including Cycle Toronto, and they talked about their concerns surrounding vehicles that only had a single occupant and the impacts that has on traffic. We also heard about accessibility on our streets and the need to help people who use wheelchairs, people who have strollers, be able to get around, especially construction sites. An interesting conversation that I've heard people talking about out of City Hall and today here at this committee meeting too is when you're walking by a construction site, you know, you see these pylons, but no work is being done. So some of the city councillors brought that up and say that could be a challenge too. And why is there no enforcement? Why is there no explanation as to why these road closures are happening on these streets when there is no work essentially being done? So lots of conversations around construction and how to communicate with residents too. The city talking about having QR codes that will help to enforce these rules, I should say, when it comes to which projects are happening in your neighborhood, so people can essentially walk up to a construction project, use their phones to scan a QR code, and that will give them information in terms of who's doing this work, how long it'll take, and some of the rules surrounding that. So there's lots of different conversations happening. At one point too, Melissa, we saw 2 councillors kind of disagreeing on one issue here and a bit of back and forth. So you could say there's a lot of chatter here, and you can never talk enough about traffic here in Toronto.
Absolutely. I'm thinking those conversations they're having are the ones that everyone seems to be having these days. Okay, Faiza keeping us up to date. She's going to stick around with that meeting, follow the updates for us, bringing us hopefully one step closer to moving faster in the city. Thanks for that, Faiza. Faiza Amin reporting for us from City Hall.